Good evening everyone and welcome back to the Fergie Way with me, Teach FM. Now as you know, it has all been about the Champions League just lately. Unfortunately, in last night's episode we did only secure a draw against Spurs in the first leg of the semi-final, and the next episode is going to be that second leg of the semi-final. However, sandwiched in the middle, the chance to win the Premier League. We only need a point today. We might not even need that if Tottenham slip up in their fixture. So let's run the intro, get a look at the league and see what's going on. So it has been merely an in-game day or two since the last episode. Of course, we did manage to get that rather sort of disappointing draw against Tottenham in the first leg of the semi-finals. However, we remain hopeful for the second leg of the semi-finals, which is our next fixture. However, today, we do have West Ham in the Premier League. We're away from home. We've got to consider the fact that we've got that massive game in Europe coming up. So we are going to play a slightly weakened team, maybe even delve into the under-18s, give a couple of the youngsters a game. But hopefully, all we need is a point, and we might not even need that if Liverpool slip up. As you can see, currently there, only 3 games left in the season. We have a 9-point lead over Tottenham, so therefore all we need is a point. And better yet, if Tottenham draw in their game, which is a late kick-off against Everton, they've not done enough anyway, so we pretty much are not nailed on. I do have 2 more fixtures, and pretty much, we're going to win the Premier League, whether it be this fixture or the ones after the semi-final against Spurs, but hopefully today's the day. So here we are then, guys, on game day. Of course, we are down at the Olympic Stadium facing West Ham. Now, West Ham have been pretty good of late. However, based on the fact that we've got that Champions League semi-final tie in just a couple of days, I've tried to play what was basically the weakest team possible, including delving into the under-23s and under-18s. However, we will start with the home team, that is West Ham. They've got Rico in net, Cresswell, Ogbonna, Reed and Coleman at the back. They have Sigurdsson and Henderson in the middle. Then they have Dimitri Payet, Ross Barkley and Adrian Ayew, all sat behind Calera. Simone Zaza injured, winner because as you know he's given us problems in the past. Now onto the United team, we have Donnarumma in net, and then we have a young lad called Colin at left back. I bought him, I think it was the end of season 1 as a little bit of a wonder kid. Not done anything with him as of yet, because to be quite honest, Bothwick Jackson playing in there behind Alaba. So I thought today might be a day to give him a little bit of a shot. Then we have Rashawn Williams and Twinzabi in the middle. Rashawn Williams is very unsharp. He's fit, but the sharpness isn't quite there. So there may be a change happening later on in the game. And then we have another young lad called Hodges actually coming in this year's youth intake, which was shite, to be brutally honest. However, he was one of the better players there. We then have Varela, Fosu-Mensah and Sanchez in the middle, with young Gomez sat behind him as a trequartista role. We then have Rashford playing the complete forward. However, at half-time, I do plan on bringing on Martial, give them 45 minutes each, so they're well rested for the Spurs game. And then we have young Nuno, if you remember from last season, one of the kids who we sort of introduced into the game. However, not really played much games since for the first team. In fact, not played any games since. But again, we're just trying to make up the numbers today. So we have a full strength squad when we go to White Hart Lane to try and make sure we make our way to the Champions League final. So as we move into Roy's room of pain, advice is take out anyone who's sat behind the striker. I totally think that we should be closing down Jordan Henderson as well as give him a little bit of hard tackling because, it's Jordan Henderson. We'll then move on into the team talk. And again, as I say, we've got a couple of players unfit here. We know about that. We can make changes later on in the game to get through it. However, certainly I'm going to say that this is a big match and even bigger for the fans. Get nothing anywhere. I am also just going to pull the young lads and calmly tell them that the pressure's off because I want them to be sort of relaxed going out into the game because, of course, these guys are coming into what's essentially a Premier League winning fixture. So I don't want them stressing out too much. So no pressure on them today. Try and get them to calm their asses down a bit, not panic too much. However, obviously with this team, we are running a risk, but I only need a point. I might not even need that if Tottenham lose. So it's all about the end result here. At that junction, I did go on and just passionately tell the guys that I completely have faith in their abilities. And with a little bit of luck, we're going to start the game. And hopefully it'll start well, because I think we're going to need to try and nick a goal relatively early just to try and settle the nerves a bit. So we get the kickoff, of course, as I say. We're playing Rashford. There's a few decent players in there, the likes of Sanchez, Rashford, I'm going to aim to try and take them off, but then have to consider that there's some of these players who might get a little bit tired quite soon. So I'm going to have to wait up near the time, but certainly I want the strongest team available for that Tottenham game. Because as you know, in the Fergie way, it is now all about the Champions League. It's Ayew now, Coleman, Barkley in our box, Payet to Caleri, but it does get cleared out by Fm17, and Rashford will now try and mount a counter-attack as he comes wide. He's hit one across. Ball's back with Rashford though. Gomez, it's deflected wide. A clear sight on goal, it has to be said. Really should be 1-0 up, I think, but it's quarter of an hour gone and it's the first chance we've had. So this might end up being just a little bit of a bore draw, 0-0. But as you know, 0-0 will do it for us. Rashford over a free kick. Goes to show that we've not got that many class players on the pitch, because I think that's the first free kick I've seen Rashford take. It's Hodge now to Twinzabe. Plays it back to Donnarumma. 30 minutes on the clock now. It's Twinzabe again. To young Colin, Herrera. Nuno. Nuno plays it to Rashford. Rashford can't, he's got nowhere to go. Loses possession. It's Payet now. Caleri. Ross Barkley, still Ross Barkley, takes a shot, Donnarumma pushes it round the post, saves our blushes somewhat there. Only West Ham's second shot, so the great news is, as long as this gets cleared, the great news is at the moment we're controlling the game. Bearing in mind that we're playing a very, very weak team with some unplayed youngsters, I think that's pretty good. As Payet whips another one in, looking for Reed, doesn't get there, Rashford clears it out to Nuno. This is a counter-attack now. We've got men arriving on the other side of the pitch. Fm17 takes a shot from distance, goes wide of the post. However, we are showing clear attacking intent. 40 minutes on the clock, heading towards half-time. It's Nuno now. And Herrera to Sanchez. Fm17. And Herrera again. Sanchez. Sanchez from distance, and he's put it wide of the post. Sanchez is booked as well, which I think... Just give him a quick team talk. No, we won't. We don't need to. It's half-time. We're not going to worry about that just yet. We're assertively going to tell the guys that we're not happy with them because it will fire them all up, which is exactly what it's just done. We're assertively going to tell Nuno that I'm not happy with his performance so far today, so that's fired him up single-handedly. We'll start the second half. I'm going to go straight into giving the guys a shout. And it is going to be ultimately for Sanchez. We need to tell him to calm down because we don't want to go losing any men. And then we're going to do an overall one of passionate, demand more. Fm17. Sanchez. Sanchez still on the ball, but he had 3 men ahead of him there. He probably made the wrong decision, but Herrera has got possession back now. Rashford to Gomez to Nuno. Had a clear chance. He was offside, fortunately for him, because immediately I'm thinking, clear chance and you should be bagging that all day long. So we are going to make a substitution, as we said earlier on. We're on the 53rd minute. We're going to take Rashford off. He's 80% fit, which is fine. Bring on Martial, and again, this is just to save the lad's legs. In another 5 minutes or so, I'm going to pull Renato Sanchez, and then the last sub that I do will be based solely on how the younger guys are getting on. It's Gomez now. Plays in Adrien Ayew. Ayew closing in the box. He's being wiped out by the young lad Hodge. Jesus Christ. One of the young and experienced players takes out Adrien Ayew. We need Donnarumma to save this now, otherwise we're going to be banking on Spurs losing on the hope that that wins us the league. It's Ayew, puts it in the net. We've got 60 minutes to try and find a goal, and to be brutally honest, the way I see it, we may as well go for it now, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if we lose. We're not going to lose the last 3 games. Right now I'm in a position where I've got to play a weakened team, so I'm just going to pause it before it gets all crazy and I end up losing a load of minutes. So, first things first, I definitely need Renato Sanchez for the next game. I'm going to bring on Ruben Neves, who I'll also probably use, but of course, he'll have only had a few minutes. We're going to confirm that, hit play, let it take effect, and go to overview, and then we're just going to go to instructions, and I want the guys to start playing more direct passing, and I want them to be more expressive, hopefully try and bag a goal, as it were. And we're also going to change the mentality to attacking, which isn't something we do often, but hopefully it'll be enough. We'll just confirm them changes off. So we've got 25 minutes to try and find a goal, if we can find a goal. If it doesn't happen, there's nothing to say that Spurs aren't then going to get beat by Everton away from home. Everton are struggling at the bottom league. It should be a game Spurs will win. However, they need to get more than a point. Even if Everton manage to get a draw, we'll still win the Premier League. But either way now, it's Ruben Neves. Loses the ball to Ayew. Ross Barkley. To Gomez. Still to Gomez. Rashawn Williams managed to take the ball off him. Ander Herrera plays it back to Donnarumma. It's Colin now. We are still in a commanding position in the game. Of course, we are 1-0 down. However, we are playing a lot better than they are. We're getting more attacking football, but they've made it count at the moment, and that's the problem. Looking down the barrel of a 1-0 loss, which will damage morale on the run into the Champions League game. What I was hoping is if we won the Premier League, it'll buoy up the squad a little bit, get everybody happy running into that Spurs game. However, it may not happen here. It's Ayew down the wing, puts a ball into Gomez, and I can guarantee you we are going to lose this game because I'm not sure in the last 10 minutes I can get much more out of this squad. As we can see, Ayew down the wing, crosses in, near post to Gomez arriving, Donnarumma caught out of position. We see it so often at the near post on FM17, but that was that. So instructions, pump ball into the box. Not a right lot more we can do. We're going direct, we're pumping the ball into the box. We've done pretty much all we can. I don't use overload, never have used overload because I've never really found it worth anything. 2 minutes to go, we're not grabbing any more from this tie. Carroll now, Ruben Neves has picked the ball up. Full time, so it's a loss. However, we've got a 5:30 kickoff between Spurs and Everton, and maybe Everton will do us a favour, pick up a draw. I just want to tell that young lad Hodge has played a 5.8, which is absolutely shocking. Mistake cost us a goal, unacceptable, and we'll move on. Well, there we have it then, guys. The verdict is in, and the Premier League trophy is going to have to wait for at least another couple of episodes. Unfortunately, Tottenham went and did their bit. It does close the gap on us. However, we've only got, I think, from memory, Brighton and someone else, a relatively poor team in the Premier League, left to play. We've got 2 games. We still, of course, only need a point, so I'm confident we can go ahead and win the Premier League. So in tomorrow night's episodes, where it's going to get really exciting, we've got the second leg against Spurs. I also know the first leg between Real Madrid and PSG. PSG actually took a 1-0 win while at the Bernabeu, so they go into a relatively commanding position. So right now it's set for the team who knocked us out the Champions League last year in the semi-final. We could get them in the final. However, the obstacle of Spurs still stands ahead of us, so make sure you join us tomorrow night for that. If you've enjoyed tonight's episode, even though I fielded the kids and it come round and bit me in the arse, hit the like button. And if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button. Check out the description for the other playlists for the videos based on Season 1 and Season 2. And other than that, guys, I've been Teach FM, and I'll catch you later. See you in a bit.